Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the fashion bunker car. A lot of you have been asking me, this is going to be two topics, but the most important topic of this video, a lot of you have been asking me about the Pharrell Williams for Chanel collaboration that just hit Chanel stores, select Chanel stores worldwide. Not all Chanel stores, just select Chanel stores. I'm not going to show, usually I do a review of stuff, I showcase images, but I'm not going to do it this time because I could just blend in images, but I'm not going to blend in images because I really want to avoid completely any sort of problems that might arouse from Chanel not liking this video or whatever. Like this, we're not giving them any reason to block us. So there's no copyright claims of any sorts. Why am I saying this in particular? Because I'm not going to praise that collection. I think it's a terrible collection. I think it's a terrible idea. I think that every piece of garment in that collection is terrible. It defeats the whole purpose of Chanel. It's literally a lazy Pharrell Williams concept of plastering together Alessandro Michele's Gucci with Pharrell Williams' own kind of chill life of, just wearing bathrobes to supermarkets, except these bathrobes have embroidered Chanel on them. But as if that wasn't enough, it says Chanel and then it also says Pharrell underneath it. Like, really? I mean, if you're gonna pay the thousands and thousands of dollars for a Chanel piece, you don't want to have a Pharrell logo as big as the Chanel logo right there next to it. Maybe you do. More power to you if you do. I wouldn't. So you have all of these kind of Alessandro Michele's, and I'm already not a big fan of what Gucci is doing nowadays, but you can imagine kind of a watered down version of Alessandro Michele in an attempt to make the Alessandro Michele style acceptable or Chanelified. So that's kind of toned down and then put into a Chanel package with the Chanel logo, Chanel branding, oversized Chanel bags in different colors, very poppy colors that clash with one another. I don't know, a bag can be salmony pink, worn on top of a bathrobe that's acid yellow with acid green pants, and a hoodie that is strawberry pink or green or red. And then you have these glasses that Pharrell kind of copied the 1993 actually, spring summer Chanel sunglasses with the Chanel on top. Well, Chanel Paris Chanel on the frames. Now we have Chanel Pharrell Chanel. Tragic. And then that whole thing is packaged in this sort of really demented video that doesn't tell us. It looks like, back in the day when Britney would do music videos and they would have product placement all over the place, and then she would be like dancing with her dancers, and then all of a sudden the camera would zoom in to, I don't know, a bottle of vodka or something. I had the feeling the entire Chanel ad campaign for Pharrell was about promoting a motorbike. And then they had that sadness in there, which I guess was added to it. It felt as if they wanted to portray mourning of Karl Lagerfeld in some sort of way. But all of the models just seemed lazy and high. Instead of, I don't know, maybe it wasn't even their intention to pay homage or to show some sort of sadness or, I don't know, respect to Karl Lagerfeld. But it felt that way to me because I'm still getting over the fact that he passed away myself. So, but then again, you could say that maybe they shot that video before he died. I don't know these things. I don't have that information. But the music added on top felt very kind of sad. And then to add in that video clip, this golden blob in a room, kind of flat to the floor and kind of slithering on the floor. It looked like the spirit of Lagerfeld was moving through it was just really in bad taste. The whole concept of the marketing concept, just the promotional stuff, the advertisement campaign in terms of video. In terms of clothing, as I said before, I think it's tragic. I think Pharrell Williams in general should stop tormenting the fashion world once and for all and just go back and make a decent song again. Focus on that instead of just, doing collection here, collection there, collaborating with this, collaborating with that. Everywhere you turn around, he's everywhere. And it's come to a point where it's really annoying. Every brand is working with him. And with all due respect, you might love him You might love what he does. In that case, great, more power to you. You can collect all the stuff he does for all of them. But to me, it's overexposure. And overexposure not in a good way, because it's literally the epitome of globalization transferred onto a musician that's then that considers himself more than that. He considers himself an artist and slash designer slash musician slash producer. It's like, you name it, he does it, and people just want him present. For me, it's gone overboard. It's just too much. It doesn't make any sense to me, and it's actually quite annoying to me, especially because most of the brands I really love and respect are working with him, and so I am constantly confronted with this presence, you know. You know, it's so funny how a generation loses a lot of information. From generation to generation, we lose a lot of information. That's a little rhyme, but it's so true. Run DMC back in the 80s, were the early 90s, late 80s, were the first really kind of to wear the Vivienne Westwood, back then named buffalo hats, designed by Malcolm McLaren with Vivienne Westwood. Run DMC. Then the buffalo hats were renamed mountain hats. They're still made in the same way. They're still the same shape. But then, you know, a couple of years back, Pharrell's stylist had the brilliant idea to make him wear the hat. He wore the hat. He wore it for a pretty long time, a couple of months or a couple of weeks at least, photographed all over the place, wore several colors, and all of a sudden it became the Pharrell hat. So what happened was, or what is still happening today, a lot of people think that that is his hat. Before Pharrell started wearing his hat, I already was a fan of Vivienne Westwood, obviously, but I already had those hats. I had to stop wearing them when he started wearing them, because I just did not want to have this constant approach on the streets of people saying, oh, where did you get the Pharrell hat? It's not a freaking you know what I mean? So what happens is this globalization of a style, or stylizing something, turns into a global phenomenon in which people completely make a sort of mental tabula rasa, don't even question the fact that certain things, certain designs, certain ideas already existed before, and that people are recycling them, copying and pasting them, but with every copy and paste, things become blander, more washed out, less interesting, less important, and definitely not more original. And so people tend to forget, especially the younger generations, that there was a research and a study and a concept behind something already in the past. We're not just talking 5 years ago, we're talking decades ago, sometimes even centuries ago. So just be cautious. Be a fan of whoever you want to be a fan of. You can be a fan of all the people out there at the moment, you know, from the up-and-coming designers to musicians. I don't want to even make any other names, because you know the ones I don't like, and so I'm not going to name them just for the sake of starting more arguments. And also, I'm taking one for the team here, because you've been asking me a lot about this Pharrell collaboration with Chanel, and I wanted to avoid making it, but since the questions are constantly coming, there it is, guys. That's my opinion. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. I'm actually quite glad that Chanel kind of pushed that collaboration in its own kind of side of the website. So when you look under Chanel products, there are no Pharrell products listed in their spring, summer, cruise, fall, whatever they have actual now in the boutiques. You have a listing with all the prices and the, you know, all that stuff is, you do not have Pharrell's whatever you want to call it. His stuff is not mixed with the Chanel things, which is great. That's a great thing. At least they did that. But, you know, you could look it up in the Chanel website, on his part of the Chanel website, a little mini website within the website dedicated to his collection. And, you know, you just judge it on your own. But this is a video for the ones who have been asking me my opinion. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of my video that this will be kind of there will be a second, maybe I should make another video just about this topic. But you know what? Let's just mention it here, since we're in this kind of commenting. I've made videos about this topic in the past as well, but I'm just going to briefly mention it here. And if you think I should divulge more, I could make a video just with that topic, because it's then easier also for people to find the videos, because they have simple title instead of now it's going to have like a double title, which is going to be too long of a title. So YouTube doesn't like that, because YouTube, another can of worms. But anyway, so this is the second topic. The topic is, and as I said before, mentioned it 1,000 times prior, we're re-mentioning it now again, getting rid of people out of your life, negative people out of your life, people that do not contribute to positive growth or development, both ends. It's kind of tough because you tend to fall into a routine and a certain type of behavior or behavioral pattern where you tend to what's the right word? You tend to kind of fall into you linger on with certain friendships or acquaintances because there's a certain routine there, and yet you don't feel growth. You don't feel that you're beneficial to one another, or from your end, you might not feel that you are beneficial to them or that they are beneficial to you. You gotta let them go. It happens to me from time to time, and when it happens every time, and I'm saying this now in this video in particular because I'm also analyzing myself, and I'm trying to just every time I catch myself, whenever it happens, in that situation where I think to myself, what did I do wrong? And most of the time, you didn't do anything wrong. And also, the other party didn't do anything wrong. Most of the time, it's just about not being compatible, not having the same interests, not wanting the same things out of life, or, you know, you literally, you could, sometimes it's a match, sometimes it's not. There are 6 or 7 billion people on this planet. It's okay to not have to fit with everybody. It's just hard sometimes to just accept the fact that you're not a fit and just moving on. But it should be okay to just acknowledge the fact that interests have changed, that the growth is different. By growth being different, I don't mean one party is more intelligent or more grown up than the other. I just mean you're interested in growing in different directions. Both directions can be as equally important, beneficial, blah, 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 whatever you want. They're just different. And it's okay to let go. And actually, if both parties would just acknowledge it and just let go positively, it could be kind of a friendly thing also to just say, maybe we can catch up another time when we feel that our paths cross, and not just cross, because when you cross, they kind of spread apart again, rather than cross, maybe when our paths one day start moving parallel. That's all I had to say, really. And it's just a repetitive thing. I see it. It's like a fine thread threading through my life, and also through the lives of people I know that come to me and also tell me that they have had similar or same experiences. And it seems to be for most people really hard to just not be angry about it. You know, that's the most important thing. Don't be angry because somebody all of a sudden is not compatible with you. It's not their fault, and it's not your fault. Just acknowledge the difference if you can't deal with it, or if you just don't find it appetizing or interesting to you, or you have the feeling that what you are is not interesting to them anymore. Let go. Learn to let go, and learn to be let gone, to let others go of you too. I know it's always hurtful because you always think like, you know, oh, what happened? Is somebody like mean to me? Why are they such a bitch? People are people, and sometimes some people just tick in a totally different way than you tick. And by ticking in a totally different way than you tick, you're gonna fall into that trap of believing that everything you do is wrong. You're going to analyze yourself to death, thinking, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? When in fact, you did nothing wrong. You are just different. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you like this double video. A video with a double, so where's the semi-camera? It's like Jekyll and Hyde, or like that. Hope you like the video. If you have, please consider subscribing to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Some really superficial topics like fashion and some really deep topics like friendship and growth. That's what the Fashion Bunker is all about, even when we're in a car. So I say, never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.